Hi everyone, today I'm going to be showing you how to make a bending fork. I've had a lot of requests for it, finally getting around to making it. This is a great thing to make for someone starting out. Combines a lot of basic blacksmithing skills into one tool that is very useful and very easy to make, and it doesn't use that much material, so it's not that expensive either if you're just starting out and you're weary about spending money. If you're new to my channel, every single video is a giveaway, so in 2 weeks I'll be announcing someone at random. I'm picking someone at random to win this, and then I'll send it to them. How you enter to win is you like, comment, and subscribe, and share the video. All of that helps me out, and then I get to send you guys one of these. Let's get started. The first thing I did here was I measured out 5 inches of 3/4 square and cut that down. What I would recommend is if you have 1 inch by 3/8 or 1 inch by 1/2 inch, use that instead. I didn't have any lying around, so I had to forge this down to size. So the next step, I don't always show it, it's always good to deburr the edges of your material. That'll help prevent any cold shots and will make your forging a little cleaner. So as I mentioned before, I don't have 1 by 1/2 or 1 by 3/8 lying around, so first thing I'm doing right here is I'm just using a power hammer. I'm forging this 3/4 square down to that stock material so that it's going to be easier for me to work with when it comes to making the bending fork. So the next thing I'm doing here is I'm forging down what is going to be the first tine of the fork. One thing to keep in mind is the length that you end up forging down, that is going to basically be the length of your first fork. You're going to see the next step that we're going to do here is we are going to cut down the material parallel with the piece that we just forged down, and so we're going to cut the same length as we want our bending fork gap between the tines to be. So one thing I want to point out that I'm doing here, I'm not cutting all the way through on the face of the anvil. I'm getting till I'm just about through. I'm bringing it over and I'm sticking the part of the chisel where it'll go through. I'm sticking that over the edge of the anvil so that I'm not actually striking any metal underneath. This will help keep protect your anvil, and it'll also help keep your tools sharper so you don't have to go and dress them as often. So the next thing I'm doing right here is I'm taking the piece that I have, I split it apart, and I'm just starting to round out the tines of the fork here. And you really should round them out because that's going to keep you from marring up your piece, your work piece. Because remember, you're pushing the tines of this fork into the piece that you're bending. So if those are sharp, they will dig in, they'll leave marks, and your forging won't be as clean. So I forgot to hit the record button, but the next step I did was I bent over the first tine of that fork there. It's nothing big, you just stick it over the edge of the anvil, hammer it over. Now you can see the hardest part here is actually getting that to line up so that it is perpendicular to the part holding it, perpendicular to the gap in the middle. So I'm doing a lot of work here on the horn to try and get underneath it. If you have make a hardy tool that can kind of get you underneath it, that would work really well too. The other thing I'm doing is I'm somewhat forging a square corner on it. So when you see me kind of hammering the tine back down into the metal, That's going to help forge that square corner there, and that's just mainly for aesthetics. It's going to make it look a little nicer. So now that I've got it all, the first half of the fork all forged out, what I'm doing is I'm drawing out the back of it so that we can have a handle to grab onto. This is something that can easily be done by hand. I'm doing it with a power hammer here to speed things along for you. So the next thing I'm doing right here is I'm going to forge out a little hook on the end so that I like to hang these up. So I put a little open-end hook on the back of it so that it makes it easier for me to hang on a wall hook, or if I have a tool rack, it hangs on it fairly easily. And again, this is a very basic skill that it's good to learn. So what I'm doing here, you just knock that back down, and then I'm rolling it over just lightly brushing with the hammer, rolling that over the horn of the anvil, curving it in, and then I'm just adjusting it as I go. And if you want to open it up a little more, what I like to do is you can see I'm actually kind of hammering it open with the horn. I'm pushing it into the larger section of the horn to open it up a little. So the next thing I'm doing here is, because I forged it out with the power hammer, it forges it down on both sides, so I had a little, just aesthetically, I wasn't a fan of it. So all I'm doing now is I'm just trying to clean that up, push that back in so everything's a little more parallel and a little more flush. It's one of those things, if you actually forge it by hand, you probably wouldn't have to do this step. So there you have it. The bending fork is all done. Please remember to like, comment, and share this video for your chance to win this. I'll be announcing in 2 weeks the winner, and I will mail it to them. If you don't know what to comment, I always appreciate it when people let me know what they want to see made next. What I want to make isn't always what you want made. So please let me know. I look forward to hearing back from you. Have a great one.